Hey everybody, today I wanted to talk to you about watch insurance, the importance of getting your watches insured. It's so important. I've had a watch stolen, I was robbed, and then also the same watch policy I had also covered jewellery, and my wife lost a bracelet while travelling. Both times the items were insured, and both times the insurance company paid out. So losing stuff or having stuff stolen is really annoying. But when your items are covered and the insurance company pays out, then it's just so makes the experience a lot less painful. And obviously you don't have the huge financial hit. So I'll talk to you about insurance. I'll just let you, as we're a watch channel, you might as well see what's on the wrist today. I'm wearing the Vacheron Overseas. Really enjoying wearing it here in Dubai. As you can see, I'm in Dubai at the moment. I'll talk a little bit more about that in another video, what it's like living here and wearing my watches in Dubai. One thing that I quickly will say is that it's just so nice to be able to comfortably, worry-free, wear my watches as a watch lover and enthusiast. Not being able to wear your watches too often when living back in London was a little bit annoying. So here I'm really enjoying it. That's not why I moved here, it's just a bonus of being here. But back to the insurance. So when you get your watch insured, you've got to get it insured properly. So you can just call up whoever you have your home insurance with and say, oh, I've bought a watch, I want to add it onto my policy, and they'll say, how much did you pay for the watch? And you'll say this much, and they'll say great. And then if the watch is stolen, they'll ask for receipts and this and that, and they'll give you your money. But as you guys know, with watches, what you pay for a watch often isn't what a watch is worth, and that's why I like to use specialist watch insurance companies where they deal with this type of aspect. So I've done my policies through a company called TH March, and basically when you buy the watch, or when you then also go and get it valued. So the watch I had stolen was a Yachtmaster 42 white gold on the Oyster Flex, a lot of you will know it. I paid 23,000 for it, but I had it insured for 30,000 because at the time that's what it was worth. That's what the valuation said it was worth, and so that's what I insured it for. And then when it was stolen, they basically gave me. They didn't give me, with TH March, they didn't give me £30,000 cash. They gave me £30,000 credit from the store that I bought it from to then replace the watch. Now fortunately I had a relationship with the Rolex authorised dealer, and I was able to get it replaced, but it didn't have to be the same model. So basically the shop offered me a white gold blue dial Daytona, which, as much as I love the Oyster Flex Yachtmaster, the blue dial white gold Daytona was a lot more desirable for me. So I purchased that. It was a little bit more, 34,000, but I just made up the difference from 30,000. So that's how it worked out with TH March. And a loss adjuster, I think it's called, came over to my house when I was putting the claim in, just to make sure, asked me a few questions, collected the box, the receipt, all the other stuff that went with the stolen watch. And it was a thorough process from the moment the event happened to when I got my money back. It didn't take, I can't remember exactly, but I want to say somewhere between a month and maybe 6 weeks max, just because it takes time for them to book you in with the loss adjuster, and he has to do his investigation, and there's a bit of time that goes by, but and you are nervous at the time because you hear these nightmare stories where companies refuse to pay out, but in both cases the company paid out. Now, I have a friend, it was actually on my stag do, we were in Marbella and he had his watch stolen. I mean, it's crazy to think of, this is about 10 years ago, where perhaps watch crime wasn't quite as prevalent as it is now, but you know, on a drunken night out, he woke up on a bench in the middle of Porto Banús and his watch was gone. Obviously he shouldn't have got himself that drunk, but you know, anyway, he didn't have proper insurance on his watch, and all he could do was put a claim in with his travel insurance, and the excess on the policy, I mean the maximum per item on the policy was something like £600 or like £1,000 or something. Then there was like a £300 excess or something like that, so he only ended up he didn't even get £1,000 for it because he hadn't insured it properly. He hadn't called up a proper company and got that sorted out. So it is important to get this insured with a proper insurer. Now, with my policy, to give you an idea of cost, when I had one watch that was say £10,000, then they didn't need, because they are specialist in watches, they didn't need a valuation or anything. If it was under £20,000, they didn't have to worry about valuations. And the cost was say £340 a year. This is maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Now my watch collection has got a lot bigger, and I've got over in the six figures of watches. So I have a policy now where they do my whole home insurance, and watches, jewellery and clothes and computer, TV is covered. But with this policy, because there's expensive watches like this one that I'm wearing, it's expensive, 70,000 I think it cost. They stated that I needed to have a safe in the house of a certain quality. That safe, I got one slightly better and bigger than the minimum standard that they required. I think if I was to go with the minimum standard they required, it was like £1,800 safe. I went with like a £3,000 safe. But the watch was only insured if it's on my wrist or in a safe. If I'm travelling, on my wrist or in the safe. Now, obviously, I don't want to keep all my watches at home in a safe because that's a security risk. But I still needed that safe for the policy, because ultimately you are probably going to have one watch with you at times. So I would have a safety deposit box, keep all my watches in it, then the one that I'm wearing or the couple that I'm wearing, I would put in the safe at home. And that's why I never showed my face in previous YouTube videos, because I just didn't want the risk factor. Now that I'm in Dubai, I feel a bit more comfortable showing my face, so that's why you can see me this time. But yeah, insure your watches, guys. There are policies out there where you don't have to have a safe in your house. So from going to these watch events, I was at a watch event the other day and I was speaking to a gentleman, and he has a policy with Chubb, and they didn't require, he has a huge watch collection, they didn't require a safe, but when he goes to they're insured when they're in the safety deposit box. With my watches, they actually weren't insured when they were in the safety deposit box, believe it or not, which it's a bit reckless on my behalf. I perhaps should have hunted more for a policy that did cover safety deposit boxes, but I just thought everything they'll be fine in the safety deposit box. But from speaking to this other gentleman at a watch event, he said no, things can happen. You know, there can be dishonest staff, or you know, in Hatton Garden, London, the safety deposit box place got broken into. But generally, they are the best bet, really, because keeping them at home is way more risky. But and puts your family in danger. So, and this is why it's so nice to live in Dubai, because that type of stuff just does not really happen out here. However, so yeah, he kept his stuff in the safety deposit boxes, and then when he would take it out, he said he just had to email Chubb with taking this watch out of the safe, and then they would, you know, update things their end. Again, you know, we love this passion. It does come with risk, and you've got to be aware that, you know, there's people out there that are nefarious and want to take your stuff. So it's important to have your stuff insured, because when something bad does happen, God forbid it does, it's just such easier pill to swallow if you're insured and not having that taking that financial hit. So insure your watches. Chubb, very good. TH March, very good. They haven't paid me. My YouTube channel's tiny, but I just want you guys to be safe and smart out there. So any questions, feel free to put them in the comments. Safety deposit boxes are the way to go. Metro Bank has safety deposit boxes. If you live in London, Selfridges, Harrods have safety deposit boxes. There's a company called Metropolitan safety deposit boxes that are also good and have quite a few locations. But definitely be smart, be safe, but at the same time, you know, if your watch is insured, you can just enjoy it with a little bit less worry. So it's well worth doing. It's well worth understanding the policies that you have, so that you're always within, you know, like I understood that it was only insured if it's on my wrist or in a safe, so I wasn't keeping my watches in a bag willy-nilly, you know, leaving it around or anything like that, because I knew I wouldn't be covered if something bad would happen. However, with the Chubb policy that the guy I met at the watch event, his watches were covered if they were in a bag. So it's worth shopping around and talking to the different insurers about the different policies and get one that's right for you. Any questions, like I said, like, subscribe. Also, I did a competition for someone to win an Omega Moon watch. I have the watch. I should have done this months and months ago, but with the move and selling our house in England, things got a bit crazy. So I do have that, and I will be giving it away in the next video, which I'm going to record today, and I'll post it a few days later. But yeah, like, subscribe. I'm going to do competitions from time to time, or try and always have one running, just because